Marvel's Phase 6, underrated heroes desperately needing spotlight time. Here's why it matters and who should step up next. Imagine a blockbuster franchise that's been the heartbeat of superhero culture for over a decade, delivering epic team-ups and universe-shaking sagas. But lately, that same universe feels a bit disjointed, doesn't it? Fans like you and me are craving that tight-knit excitement we used to get from phases packed with interconnected stories and jaw-dropping crossovers. Yet with Phase 6 unfolding, we're left wondering if our favorite under-the-radar characters will ever get their moment in the sun. Buckle up, because we're diving into 5 Marvel movie icons who deserve way more screen time. And trust me, this list might just reignite your passion for the MCU. But here's where it gets controversial. Is the franchise sacrificing depth for nostalgia? Or is this the fresh start we need? To set the stage, let's rewind a bit. For the initial 23 films, Marvel's phases were straightforward and brilliantly crafted, much like a high-budget TV show with a clear arc. Each episode stood alone as a solo hero's tale, wrapping up with its own thrilling climax, while sneakily planting seeds for future adventures. Think new characters or mystical elements that pop up later. Then, every phase ended with a grand season finale, a massive Avengers assembly battling some colossal threat. It was easy to follow because those finales always had Avengers right in the title. Phase 1 wrapped with The Avengers, Phase 2 with Avengers Age of Ultron, and Phase 3 delivered the knockout duo of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. This structure kept things cohesive and fans on the edge of their seats. Fast forward, though, and Marvel shook things up, ditching that rigid, winning formula. Most films since Endgame lack an overarching narrative thread tying them together tightly. Instead, they've become standalone hero quests, some hits and some misses, without that urgent buzz that had us all hyped. While this has birthed some standout tales, like the cosmic depth of Eternals, the chaotic fun of Thunderbolts, and the origin vibes in the Fantastic Four First Steps, the missing links feel like a letdown. And this is the part most people miss. Interconnectivity isn't just a bonus. It's the MCU's secret sauce that makes the whole universe feel alive and meaningful. Without it, we're just watching a series of disconnected episodes, and that undermines what made Marvel so addictive. To make matters trickier, the studio has churned out a string of hurried, low-effort sequels that left audiences lukewarm. On top of that, we've seen plenty of reference-laden nostalgia trips prioritizing callbacks to old favorites over pushing new stories forward. Think Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool Wolverine. Throw in a bunch of forgettable Disney Plus series, and you've got a messy sprawl that's been bleeding fan engagement year after year. It's a shame, really, because the MCU has always thrived on building worlds that feel expansive and real. That said, Marvel hasn't completely forgotten to tease us with fresh faces and intriguing twists through cameos and hints. Some of these elements scream for deeper dives, and below, we'll spotlight 5 characters who could transform Phase 6 into something spectacular. We're talking potential plot drivers that explore untold backstories and add layers to the chaos. Starting with Eros, aka Starfox, the charming wild card from Eternals. In my humble opinion, Chloe Zhao's 2021 masterpiece Eternals ranks among the MCU's finest offerings. I know that might ruffle some feathers. Many folks weren't sold on it, but I'm standing by it. The movie's sweeping depiction of ancient histories and sci-fi wonders, spanning eons, was a breath of fresh air. Picture the Eternals as immortal beings created by godlike entities called the Celestials, designed to combat monstrous deviants that plague countless planets. Since they're artificial, they bypass natural evolution, allowing them to wipe out these threats. Earth, in this grand scheme, is just a nursery for celestial offspring, and worlds sometimes perish to birth new deities. The Eternals' journey involves breaking free from this endless cycle, letting humanity flourish in its brief existence. It's a narrative so vast, it dwarfs typical superhero yarns. blending philosophy with action in ways that provoke deep thought. Perfect for beginners who want to grasp how cosmic stakes can elevate a story beyond punch-ups. Capping off the film were two intriguing cameos. One featured the Black Knight, a mortal wielding a combat sword. But the real tease was Starfox, played by Harry Styles, popping up on the Eternal ship. For comic book enthusiasts, Starfox is the alias of Eros, a demigod from a Titan lineage, armed with persuasive powers that let him charm his way through any pickle. Casting the mega pop star Styles? Spot on, as his charisma matches the character's flair. But here's where it gets controversial. Eros is Thanos' sibling, the infamous villain from Infinity War and Endgame. Bringing him back could unravel Thanos' hidden past. Imagine family drama on a galactic scale, and hint at demigods subtly overseeing the MCU's events. This isn't just fan service, it could add emotional heft, exploring themes of legacy and intervention. Critics might argue it's unnecessary lore dump, but I say it enriches the tapestry. What do you think? Would seeing more of Thanos' family change your view of his rampage? Next up, Adam Warlock, the brooding space enigma. Portrayed by Will Poulter, Adam Warlock appeared as a minor enforcer in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, working for Aisha, the Sovereign Priestess. In the comics, he's a more introspective figure, a cosmic hero wrestling with his divine role as a godly entity, often pondering existence over battling foes. In the film, that tiny golden mark on his forehead is a nod to the Soul Gem, one of the mighty Infinity Gems, known as Infinity Stones here, capable of absorbing souls and complicating his psyche. Even if the MCU version leans lighter on the angst, Adam's too pivotal to sideline. He's now part of the Guardians, rubbing shoulders with Gamora and Drax. Comics-wise, he once teamed with them, plus Pip the Troll from Eternals, voiced by Patton Oswalt, Thanos, and a newcomer named Moondragon, each wielding an Infinity Gem in a squad called the Infinity Watch. They defended the cosmos from villainous aliens abusing the stone's power. No official Infinity Watch flick is on the books, but the pieces are there. Why not assemble them? This could expand on cosmic threats, teaching newcomers about how gems represent concepts like soul, space, or power, and how heroes balance immense abilities. It's a chance for nuanced storytelling that contrasts with the Guardians' wild antics. Skeptics might call it too niche, but imagine the philosophical debates it could spark. Is power inherently corrupting, or can entities like Adam redeem it? Then there's Blade, the vampire-slaying icon. Come on, Marvel. This should be a no-brainer. Blade, once embodied by Wesley Snipes in 3 films from 1998 to 2004, before the MCU era, delivered stylish thrills in Stephen Norrington's 1998 debut, with its 90s flair of sleek leather and pumping beats. It was a trailblazer for live-action Marvel hits, full of action that's still captivating today. Snipes returned for a cameo in Deadpool Wolverine, jokingly claiming he's the one and only Blade, a cheeky jab at the stalled reboot. That reboot, starring Mahershala Ali, has been in limbo since 2019, stuck in script hell, with no release date in sight. Possibly not until after Avengers: Secret Wars in 2027. But why wait? Blade could easily cameo in upcoming films like Spider-Man: Brand New Day, or others. Whether it's Snipes reprising the role, or Ali's debut, let's get him back. As a half-human, half-vampire hunter dedicated to eradicating undead evils and supernatural beasts, he's got endless potential and a cool factor that's undeniable. Picture him joining the Avengers. The dark, brooding contrast to the team's optimism could create thrilling dynamics. For beginners, think of Blade as a gritty anti-hero archetype, blending horror and action to show how personal vendettas fuel heroism. And this is the part most people miss. His solo films explored vampire lore in depth, offering a horror twist that's rare in superhero tales. Would integrating him alienate purists, or is he the edgy addition the MCU craves? Let's debate it! Moving on to Wong, the sorceress stalwart. Benedict Wong's Wong has graced multiple Avengers flicks, wielding mighty magic alongside the less-than-stellar Doctor Strange. He even popped up in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, taking on the Abomination. In Spider-Man No Way Home, we learn Strange's incompetence cost him the Sorcerer Supreme title, which Wong now holds. Plus, he's slated for Avengers Doomsday, so fans aren't out of luck yet. Still, Wong's mostly played second fiddle. What if he took center stage, driving plot with his sorceress wisdom? I'd love glimpses into his daily grind as Sorcerer Supreme. Does he manage a team of mages? Handle arcane regulations for mystical folks? How vast is the sorcerer's realm in the MCU? Does he oversee witches like Wanda or Agatha? Early MCU phases grounded powers in science. Even Thor felt more like an alien than a true god. But Wong, along with Agatha, Strange, and Wanda, unlocked pure magic, adding a layer of wonder. Let's explore Wong's world further. The Doctor Strange films teased it, but Wong could dive deeper. For newcomers, this clarifies how magic differs from tech. It's about rituals and realms, not gadgets. Controversy alert. Some argue magic dilutes the sci-fi roots, making the universe feel inconsistent. What if it does? Does blending both strengthen or weaken Marvel's appeal? Share your thoughts. Finally, Howard the Duck, the sardonic quacker. Born from 1970s comics as a parody of Marvel's space operas, Howard is a foul-mouthed, booze-loving duck from another dimension, dragged into galactic absurdities with a perpetual what-the-heck vibe. He's had blink-and-you-miss-it spots in Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1 and 2, plus a tiny role in the Avengers Endgame mega battle. In a sea of bizarre characters, he's the outlier who could poke fun at the MCU's insanity, like a feathered Deadpool, but with more detachment. Howard starred in his own 1986 flop, Howard the Duck, a notorious disaster alongside flops like Ishtar and Heaven's Gate. But that was decades ago. Time to reboot with irony. With Deadpool Wolverine embracing meta-humor, a Howard flick could hilariously dissect the multiverse's silliness. Talking animals, gods, spies, sentient trees. It's all nuts, and we've accepted it. He might even flip off Captain America in protest. This isn't just comedy. It's a way to critique superhero fatigue. For beginners, Howard exemplifies self-aware storytelling, where humor highlights excesses. But here's where it gets controversial. Deadpool's all in on Avengers fandom, while Howard might reject it outright. Is that the break the franchise needs, or would it mock the fans too hard? Could Howard save the MCU by calling out its excesses, or is he doomed to repeat history? There you have it. 5 characters poised to rescue Phase 6 from mediocrity. By giving them more depth, Marvel could recapture that interconnected magic we all adore. What do you think? Which one are you most excited about? And how might they shake up the status quo? Do you agree these cameos deserve full arcs? Or is nostalgia holding the MCU back? Disagree with my takes on Eternals? Or Howard's potential? Drop your opinions in the comments. Let's hash it out.